I'm going to start out by cutting the base. So I use my Proxon hot wire cutter for this, and the base is going to be just under 20 by just under 20. Just under 20 square, if you like. So 20mm foam, which is that thick, and the foam. Just wondering whether I think I'm going to hit the lanterns. Queue up. There we go. That's obviously going to slide that with it. Okay. I'm going to do the same this way. That is going to be our base. The wire cutter can go to one side for a minute. What I'm making here is a very rough sketch. Is it shouldn't look like that. So that's going to be much bigger than that. It's going to be 20-ish across, 20 and a bit. So this is going to be the base for it, and I'm not going to do a whole lot of the base just yet, but I'm just going to get that cut so we know that it had been done. So let's look at first part of our design. So this is going to be done in sections. So the first section is going to be about, let's draw a line roughly through the center, roughly through the drawing now. So the first section is about that high. Not a whole lot of cutting involved, a little bit, and not a huge amount. Check this is. Okay, where they are. Sometimes they're not. How is this? So look at the. I'm actually going to decide that these aren't quite the ones. I'm going to make them as far better. This is our base. This is our off cut here, and we're going to make this. We'll do some 10 centimeter cuts. Can use the basic guide rail for this picture, but it's not very good. So, and this is absolutely solid. So we'll go with this one. Okay. And then we're gonna go from 10 centimeter down to 10 millimeter here. Gonna turn the heat up a bit. And we're gonna touch through this. Right, for just a second, I'll tighten that wire just a touch. Get it closer so you can see what's going on. And it's not the wire, it's pushed too hard. Right, so you get to see how to change the wire. Oh, snapped off. No, a whole lot of wires pulled out rather than snapped it. So get a little bit of tension on it. You undo the screw here. That's what holds the wire in place. And then let's thread that through. I have turned it off already. Thread that through. Tighten it up. Loosen it so you can hook it back through the slot at the top here. Tighten it. And move your gauge back to the position it was in. All right. Try that again. Turn the heat up a little bit more and not push that so hard. Guys, in the same place, but it's actually in a better place because I was looking a little thin. Okay. Flare up. We like that. Right. And knife. So it's a nice, fresh, nice blade. I'm going to use the nut here as a ruler. I want to get the dead center of this board. So that's going to be just about there. I've got this little cutting jig for doing archways that a friend designed and printed for me. If people are interested in these, let me know and I'll see if I can get it available as a product to sell you. Right. 2.4 either side of that. 2.4 on that line there. Mark at 0. Mark that 4.8. And those either side of that. Yeah. And it's got this little thing on it because I can push down like that. Nice and hard. And it creates this indentation, which does two things. It means that doesn't slip, if it does slip around, it's slipping around with the thing attached to it. I also use it to add extra ridges and details to it. So start with the first bit of detail we're adding to it. Now you can cut this out with a knife. I'm going to do it with a wire cutter. Again, I've got it so I won't use it. Exactly the sort of thing I bought it for. And I'll start out by cutting this doorway. Got it on the lowest heat, so it's going to be slow. I have it on the heat on too high. You end up cutting and melting into the jig itself because it's more pressing. Just a bit of patience required. Tight to the line. In there. The pressure is doing the line, you see. This always cut out perfectly. This is what you want. The hot one cuts to one side. Right, so there's a few bits of design, just a case of deciding. We do the design first, or I do the. Might go up to the next level of the building. So my drawing is to scale, believe it or not. Yeah, so it's 4:1. So this next level going to be 6 high. Is that right? Yeah. That's level 6 centimeters high. If I got let's it could be the one. Yeah. Bring this down to be 60 mil, 6 centimeters. Again, just track it through the proximity quickly, making sure I'm cutting the preferable edge. And pour some heat up on this one. And size wise, needs just a little bit taking off. Smallest amount. Smallest amount, yeah. That much. one of those situations like should have measured that, but I eyeballed it instead. Um, yeah, actually nailed that. So do that. All right, some to one side. Again, is off. It's the correct thing to do when you're not using it. And it goes. So I need to measure in 6 from the edge. This is slightly iffy edge here, so we're gonna cut that off. I'm gonna angle on this one. So 3, then 6 there. And so we're gonna go 6 and 4, 5, 6 there. And I'm gonna cut off a 45-degree angle here. Same over here. Uh, that going on top. And we have a final piece, which is going to be, in fact, 8. 8, and then how tall is it? It's taller than I like, I guess. So we'll go 8 by 8. Possibly 8 by 10. Have a look at this. So that's 6, that's 7, that's 8. I think 8 feels right. Check my box of foam to see if I've got anything that's the right size already, rather than to know who got better already, then use it. Consult my box of options. I want something that's roughly 8 by 8. I mean, that's a contender. If you just want to use. No, this is a bit too rubbish. I don't know. We'll start with it and see where we get on to. So we want to be 8. So okay. Yeah, like that. Read it like that. Sure, giving myself enough left over. Just slightly in from that. from there, it's there. Yeah, from there, there. Can't see my first line. Okay. Feels 8 goes there. It is. Okay, so I'm going to save myself a cut here. So between here and here, halfway is 4, which is there. Measure 4 up from the side, which is here. And then to do a line that goes between here and the bottom there. Measure 4 up from here. And stupid as well, I've cut my mark off, so that was not very clever. So measure and find wherever 4 in is. You should go through that point there. Okay. See how this goes. So hopefully we got the 3 pieces to make up the very front of this church ruin thing we do. Cool. Right. So what I'm going to do next. I think let's go for. Actually, so we'll have to do the cuts first. So I have a circular window here. Sounds like the best way of doing that. My favourite way of cutting out circles is to get a lid. Like it's from a peanut butter thing. Feels like it's going to be. I don't think feel like it should be wider than that. So let's change it to something else. If I put something up, it would actually be that. So how well my brain's working today. This, yes, perfect. Right, so how high up? I think it's going to have to go through more of central. Sure, over there. It's just height. But like maybe about there. Let's go there. Right, so it's going to press down hard. And this isn't the most solid plastic lid in the world, so I don't think it's going to do all of the work for me. If you can do a lot of it, that would be great. Sometimes you use expensive hot wire cutters, other times just shove a plastic lid through something. Right. Well, that's done the majority of the work for me. So I'll take my smaller knife and going to finish with this cut. This one's a blade on this one too. The cutting off. I've got the cutting line. Yes, that's okay. I'm using this kind of ridge at the edge here to push the blade up against it to get the circle as circular as possible. The only problem when you use something that's to um, try and press through, like using a cookie cutter, the only problem with that is it does compress the foam, make it a little bit more cut than it can kind of crumb up as it's doing here, rather than cut nicely. So this means that you've got to be a bit more patient with your cut. Circular at least, and seems to have joined up too nicely. So just a little bit of work required just to smooth off a bit. But otherwise looking decent. Some archways here, and not all the way through, but maybe stuck on rather than one as big as that. I haven't carved into it. Interesting choice to make. Yeah, so what I might do actually, move that one side, put the one side metal up on the bottom part here. What is that? Yeah, so what I'm going to do is put this in the middle, which is that's 7.5. This is 4.6. 7.5 minus 4.6 is 4.9, so 2 and 2.4 in. That'd be perfect. half of 2.4, 1.2 in. 1.2 feels wrong. Yeah, it feels wrong because of that bit there. You know what? I'm just going to eyeball it. There, that's the center point. Right, so I'm going to very lightly draw around this. I mean, very lightly, so that I can basically just about see it. I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'm going to eyeball it again. Say that. There, and again, just lightly draw around it. That's all. And if you can see it, but I can see it. If you've got any comments or any questions, then feel free to chuck anything in the chat. Bring us in a little bit closer, and hopefully you can see what's going on a bit more. So you're going to have these as pillars of a kind of stony thingy, curvy archway thing in there. It's the technical term. Right. How wide do these pillars want to be? Not very is the answer. Maybe half centimetre I'm going to go for. So you can see where it starts to curve. So I think it's probably about 4.5 up. That side there. And just about 60 mil. Light score on there like that, just to put something in place and to make sure I'm happy with it. Like I am. Okay, so we'll do the same on the other side. Making sure that we're level. There. There. So that's one that's easily outside here. Coming up or not. Can't see the reflection of the screen. But these are going to be pillars, and then there's going to be some stones. And I'll just eyeball a parallel line. That. And I'm just going to draw some stones in like that. So that's the rough design we're going for. In terms of the pillars, now I'm actually going to press down quite hard with that. And on the top of it, I'm just going to use the side of the pencil for that. And here I'm going to press down hard again. And I'm going to use the side of the pencil again. We start to get what looks like a rounded pillar forming this like 4 strokes, and all of a sudden you've got something that looks like a rounded pillar. So I'll show you that again. So on the vertical lines, I'm going to go straight down, pressing down fairly firmly, get up to the top. Same on the other side, and then going on the line again, but with the side of the pencil working across the top, and then the same again here. And then I think I'm just going to my finger to smooth that out. So do just with 4 pencil strokes on if something looks like a angled pillar rather than whatever it was before. And then we can a bit more indentation to mark these stones out. So taking my crudely drawn lines and then just a bit more emphasis on it. End up with something that looks like that. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same on the other side. Do for try to get it consistent. So I'm just gonna ruler going on the top of this one, across the top of this one. I can see that I think it's gonna be there. And it's gonna be right there. Same thing with the pillars again. Vertical, vertical, angled, angled, finger. Okay. Yeah. Now to add in some, I'm going to do the bricks. So bricks are going to be roughly, or pretty much exactly 10 mil high and 20 mil, exactly 10 mil high and roughly 10 mil, so 20 mil wide. We're doing a mark every 10 mil. Same across the other side. Drawing the line between the two, which means I need to find my steel rule, which is one more about. Drawing those ours. Right, for the sake of speed, I'll use not my steel rule, but straight edge nonetheless. So here I'm going to draw a line with score a line with a knife. Not going to go into the pillars. I am going to do the bit of the archway there, with a bit in between. Do the bit between the pillars again, and then across to the other side. So get on with that. Any questions, and just feel free to ask. So at the same time as I'm doing the line on the archway, I'm going to eyeball halfway. So I can have twice as many bricks on the archway part. So that central archway, that is. Just eyeballing where halfway is. It's just going to be there. Right. Less talky, more doughy. I can actually see my mark, which I can't. There. Draw, miss a bit. Draw, miss a bit. Draw, eyeball halfway. Draw, eyeball halfway. Draw, miss a bit. Draw. Riveting. My marks are rubbish today. There. I'm not going to do the archway now because it started to cut, so I'm going to miss the archway now. We'll do that in a minute. Um, on the very top of the archway, I can just get all the way through. Right, decision to be made with regards to the circular window. Right, so using that as a guide, so I'm going to again eyeball I probably should be eyeballing this bit right now. So let's sketch in a parallel line. On that circular window. And then make sure that my scoring line is going to go right. So next one's going to go right to the very bottom of it, which is quite nice. And then the next one up. From next there to there. So essentially, a whole bunch of parallel lines through most of it, but missing out some of it. Right, so from here, it's going to do we're going to do our vertical lines for the bricks. So these ones up to here are going to be as is, and then we're going to do our first actual line on this one here. We're going to miss one and do one in a line with that. Line there, miss one, line. And from there, it's going to be every 2 centimeters. So do one here, miss a row, do one there, and we're going to do one halfway between and halfway between up there. So it's kind of your classic knitted brick pattern. So put marker 2, marker 4. Draw line there, miss a row, line there, miss a line there, and then eyeball halfway. And here, miss a row down to here, miss a row to here. Line, miss a row, line. Nowhere to particularly go with that, so just carry on measuring through. So line. So now it's going to do a mark every 2 centimeters and then fill in the rest of the brick pattern. Also, they do not have to be absolutely perfect, far from it, in fact, but nice to do it quite well. And then not forgetting about the central ones here, which can be, what I'm going to do with this is halfway, so halfway, this one, halfway, this one, halfway, and then mark out what would be a 20mm brick in the center here, and at the top as well, I guess. So, same thing here. Sort of. Right, with the rest of the archway detail here. So I'm going to measure. So this is the highest mark I've gotten at the moment here. So I'm going to measure 0.5 centimeter, and then from here and see where that 0.5 centimeter joins, because as it curves, it's going to join up, not necessarily straight. So there's a small gap, and then that's kind of hard to explain. But what I'm going to do is imagine there's a line going through that 0.5 centimeter point, and I'm going to draw from there directly outwards. So I'm drawing a line perpendicular to the ruler at the 0.5 centimeter point. And I'm going to move the ruler around and do the same thing. So as the ruler moves around and curve, it will come out at a different angle. So you get a different, you get like a curve effect of the brick. The brick's been cut for purpose. At least that's what I think it looks like anyway. And same on the other side. Right. Have a biro for this because it's got a better point on it than that pencil has. Try to press down on this circle a little more. Sort out the bricks of that in a bit. Right, so now I'm going to go over all of these lines with a biro just to make them look a bit more real. So what I tend to do is do horizontal and then vertical, vertical and then horizontal, depending on which way around it is, basically. There's no special reason. I think after doing this is when it starts really feeling like it's coming to life a bit. You can do this fairly quickly, but you also want to be careful not to go through and have the pen slip and go off at a completely random angle. Does that mean it's not the end of the world if you do that? It just means that you've got to then try and make that into a crack of some description or something. That's all of the horizontal ones done, and then we can start doing the vertical ones exactly the same way, just a bit of pressure. That's I'm going to do the same, but more gently with the archway bit here. Okay, now the circular window, do the same thing we did on the archway, so just eyeball this, but every roughly half centimeter, I'm going to draw a line with the knife towards the imaginary center point of this circle. And then again, just going over that. Right, now save yourself some time because this is going to have to be done on the other side as well, which is just under the pressing, because that's taken, well, we're going like nearly an hour. You can see why I don't sell these, because I have to charge an absolute fortune. So this one is for me. Right, save ourselves some time. We can take our knife and we can put it as a continuation of that line and just kind of rock it that, and that's going to cause a mark on this side. which doesn't save you a lot of time on the straight ones. When it comes to the ones on the corner, that's where you can see where you have to do the mark. You come to the other side. Kudos to like the one person that's watching. How are you doing today? Got any questions? Are you going to make any of these? I've got a series of marks that go all the way through to the other side, so that's help us with times. Now, whilst we've got this way up, I'm going to put the jig on from earlier and just press that down so that we've done for later. Right, and obviously you can do the same time-saving thing with the marks we've done on the circular things. Just going to do that quickly. A lot of detail. I like the pillars rather than just more bricks. Thanks, buddy. Completely missed that. I don't know when that came up, but yeah. Bricks are fine, but it didn't take long to put those pillars on, so why not? All right, so that is that side done, basically, I think. So I might add a window. I'll see. I have some windows, but just a case of where they're going to be. What height would they be at? There, so they would be spanning both, so I might cut those afterwards. I could call it good enough singly a lot of the time because I'm just making it up as I go along. I'm going to push down even deeper on this, so it's even more like a pillar. Give some real depth. You can carry it on all the way through this if you want to. If you want to get it, not importantly, get the brick detail all the way down to however deep the pillar is. Right, so that's there, and the in terms of detailing, that's they've got some tin foil here, and you can press this down as light or as hard as you want. If you push it too hard, then you end up losing the detail you put in. So it's gonna give it a light press just to get some detail into the bricks and the pillar as well. Not like a really hard roll. I'm trying to make it look like stone. Well, I'm trying to make it look like stone, but like I was doing like a real rock type thing, and I'll be pressing a lot harder than I am. It's just almost dabbing it, I guess. I just feel like the fire is these things a bit more, so they're not popping as much as I would like them to be. It's a little better now. We're up to with that. The temptation is to say, well, that would be for the live because I've been doing it for an hour. That's where we get to. So, uh, yeah, that's what you can achieve in an hour. Um, Leave it there and bid you a wonderful Saturday. Thanks for the guys that watched. I will maybe do this again soon or not. Don't know, but don't know. And I can't see the button to end. Oh, there it is. Bye.